And he goes, "You're fired, get out of here." He could tell by my body composition and the way I was standing that I didn't do my homework. You're a waste of everybody's time. I had to unlearn everything that I had learned from my parents. And then what I started doing in my life is I'll give you the next most important part. It's never how, it's always what. Who? Always, every time. Human beings, for some reason, we have this pride, okay? I'm gonna do it myself. I see it in my little kids. No, Dad, I'm gonna do it myself. Okay. Please don't let that be there when you're 20 and 30, because then you're gonna have to go to therapy or a coaching program, and you're gonna have to dismantle all of that to figure out how to do this. The second I go, hey, I'll give you somebody in the Pacific Northwest that will work with you and tell you if it's a good deal or not, that alleviated all the stress in the world, right? Yeah. It actually removes all the how. Because there is no more how. I just go, hey, what do you want? Tell me what you want me to do. And now there's immediate feedback because there's that person. Make sense? So whenever you guys feel resistance, it's going to be your Clifton strengths. You're working on the wrong things. And then number two, you need to align with somebody else that is already doing the thing you want to do. Pretty basic. You guys will go home tonight and 10% of people will take action on that and go, Pace, you changed my life. And 90% of people will go home tonight and 6 months go, I got to lock in, bro. This is the year. Okay? By the way, get around people like me. I am a lunatic. I have a lot of energy. I love what I do. And so I'm passionate. Hopefully that comes across. But if you get around people like me and you spend time with me, you'll spend time with my wife and you'll want to not stop. You'll just want to build and build and build. I would say that when you guys go home, the most draining thing on you, I'm sorry to tell you this, is going to hurt some feelings because Zuber asked me to not say this message. He didn't say don't say this message. He says focus on family. That's an important thing because I love my family. You guys, if you follow me online, you see I'm with my family all the time. Your family is probably one of the biggest reasons why you're failing. Not your wife and your kids, but your immediate siblings. Okay, a lot of my Hispanic friends. Okay, I married a Hispanic woman and I watch how Hispanic people treat each other. It's like crabs in a bucket. You guys know how that works? Yep. Oh, you think you're better than me, huh? That whole entire world, right? The people at your church, massive drain on you. They're always in your business, okay? People that you hang out with at your 9-to-5 job, by far, it is the most important thing in your life. Who are you spending the most time with? And I hate to knock on this because you guys have heard it 1,000 times. If you guys, who's a note taker in here? Raise your hand. Okay, cool. I can get the note takers to raise your hand. This is perfect. I'm testing you guys, figuring this out. Okay, so if you're a note taker and you want to go read something, I hope you will read this, but Harvard did a 75-year study. It's their longest study they've ever done. You guys know about this? 75-year study, they tracked 100 families, and they tracked where those families went in the wealth cycle, like who became wealthy, who didn't become wealthy, and they tracked all their children, what their children did, what they ended up doing in vocations, what was the number one determining factor for those 100 families in terms of success and wealth. No. Who they spend their time with. What classes they take their kids to. What the difference between going to this swim lesson over here where it's $49 a month or to this swim lesson that's $29 a month. What family do you think is going to be more successful? Why?
It's the other students.
It's not just the other students. It's the family members that took the students that are like, no, I want the $49 experience, not the $29 experience. Do you guys not feel an elevated experience when you're at a better hotel? A better restaurant? Okay, so guess what? The families that are willing to spend the money on that have a higher frequency of mindset. Guess what conversations they're having? Like, I'll give you a good example. My little girls, Corbin 7, Monday 4 now, have been in dance for years. I'll go to their dance classes 3 or 4 times a week, like in the middle of the day. I'm the only dad that gets to do that. And I'm like, that's a problem. I told my wife, I don't want my girls going to a dance studio where the dads don't have the time to show up. Stop and think about that for a second. What are the men doing? Are they? They're getting by is what I say. Getting by. If you are working it would be working. And if you're not at your daughter's dance or you don't have the ability or the freedom to go do that, and you know how fast their time goes by, it ain't working. I would say it's getting by. So those husbands are willing to go. The husbands that are not showing up at that dance class told me what kind of kids my kids are around are families where dads are not around enough. And I told my wife, I go, find somewhere that's more expensive. I want to weed the people out that can't afford it. I want to find the dads that know how to delegate to teams. I want to find the dads that are there. And guess what? Now I go to my daughter's dance thing and I'm hanging out with a bunch of dudes that are all building companies that are delegating to their teams via text message. Completely different experience. Do we agree with this? And do those kids have different conversations inside the dance class with my kids? Guess what? The number one thing I noticed was at the other dance class with the dads that weren't there. Complaining. Victimhood mentality. You go to the more expensive dance studio, it's like an extra $200 a month. And I get it. A lot of families can't afford that $200. I get that. No complaining. It's all creating. Hey, what are you working on, man? Hey, how's that thing going? Dude, can I help you with that? Collaboration. It's a different frequency. It's Costco versus Walmart. The people that aren't willing to pay $99 a year, Costco is such a ripoff. Bro. Okay. And you've heard this before. You've heard this advice before, but I promise you, by far, it is the most important thing in your life is who you spend your time with, the conversations you have. I am nothing but a pure reflection of the people I spend my time with. That's it. Okay? So, I want to hang out with families that the dad's around all the time. And I want to hang out with families where the mom is around all the time and they're doing fun things and they're being creative and doing fun activities and everybody can afford it. I know everybody wants that. How do you start? You go home, and if you guys watch the Super Bowl, like people are talking to me about Bad Bunny, I'm like, who's Bad Bunny? Pace, you don't know Bad Bunny? No, I don't know who Bad Bunny is. What is a Bad Bunny? And then they told me, Super Bowl show, this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, cool. Who was in the Super Bowl? Like, you don't know? If you are not hitting those goals, you should not be watching the Super Bowl, period. If you're not hitting what you want to be doing. Now, what's crazy is you might look at me and go, yeah, you're crazy, you work a lot. No, I don't. I have been on the road with my kids and my wife. We've gone to 100 cities in 120 days in an RV. I'm with my kids and my wife every single day, 6 to 8 hours every single day. I just know how to delegate and build things the right way and create a culture of winning that my team wants to win. And they want to see me spend more time with my family. How did I learn that? Step one was unlearning it from my dad. My dad taught me how to work my guts out. In fact, my dad gave me this sense of pride that, like, if it's, you know what, you just got to do it myself. How many times have you guys heard your dad say that? Right? Okay. My dad will go every 3 years and sabotage his entire company just to dismantle his belief system that he believes, in my dad's mind, subconsciously, my dad doesn't believe he could be a millionaire. Why? Because my dad hangs out with everybody in his circumference doesn't make more than 200 grand a year. So what happens with my dad if he makes $201,000 a year? What does he do? Sabotages everything. Dismantles everything. Fires people, gets frustrated, blows the whole entire thing up, and now he's starting from scratch, and it's always everybody else's fault. So as I went through my 20s, what do you think I was doing? Okay, so this is how bad it was for me. I'm 27, I'm running a big construction company, and I go, man, I am so sick and tired. I'm a contractor. I'm sick and tired of these homeowners. I go do these 203K loans. Do you guys know what 203K loans are? So a homeowner gets a reno loan, and I have to go put the money up as the contractor and get reimbursed from the bank. Okay, as a contractor, that's a freaking nightmare because I can't cash flow 5 203K loans at a time. So what was my solution to this? Was it finding better clients? Or was it going and getting to be a licensed loan officer and also being a loan officer on the side to show these loan officers how to do it the right way? Which way do you think I chose? Okay, I did. I went and became a loan officer. I'm sitting there running a construction company inside of a loan officer thing. Like, Now I got really lucky, okay? God blessed me. God gave me this awesome opportunity to open this door for me. And the opportunity was Steve Mikesta. You won't remember the name. It's okay. I remember his name and I appreciate him, so I'll say his name out loud a lot. Steve Mikesta gave me an opportunity. He says, if you are going to be on my team, hang your license with me, you have to hire my mindset coach. That was my immediate answer. I'm like, how much is this mindset coach? First thought I had was like, how much is the mindset coach? That's some blue collar mindset I had, so bad. And he goes, it's $500 an hour. I'm like, is this guy an attorney? Now I got attorneys that are like $500 an hour. I'm like, I will literally not, if you tell me you're an attorney, you only charge $500 an hour, I go, you definitely are not working for me. Different mindset, right? So I drive to my first appointment with John Boehm. I go to the appointment. Where's the appointment? In his office? Starbucks. That pissed me off. I was like, wait, I'm paying this guy $500 an hour and he can't even afford an office? Well, I was wrong. This guy is now the head mindset coach of the Arizona Cardinals and he fired me 4 months later. Why did he fire me? Because he got so big. I got 4 months of his time. Within one meeting, 1 hour, this is what he told me. Clifton Strengths, go focus on who you are. Go do this. He gave me homework. Here's my homework. I was running a $25 million a year construction company all by myself. Going on every appointment, collecting the bills, going and talking to the customers, doing every single thing, billing, taxes. Anybody feel like that's them? Okay. Where did I learn this from? I learned this from my dad. I did not learn this anywhere else. I learned it from my dad. So a lot of the bad behavior we have it was not a decision. It was not a decision. It literally was just infused in me from my environment, right? So John Boehm gives me homework my first month and he goes, you need to hire somebody before you see me next month. If you don't hire somebody before you see me next month, by the way, I'm making a lot of money at this time, right? Anybody know who Wedgwood is? No. Okay, they're a big Vegas company. Wedgwood, Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow. I was like their biggest contractor and I was doing all of their construction work in Arizona. I was 26 and I took home $1 million after taxes. And I didn't want to hire at the time, $3,000 a month would have done it. Not now. So I go to the appointment the next month. I walk into the Starbucks pumped up, beaming, because I couldn't wait to see this guy again. And he immediately stands up from his desk and he goes, or not his desk, obviously it's not an office. And he goes, you're fired, get out of here. Why? He could tell by my body composition and the way I was standing that I didn't do my homework. He says, I don't hang out with people that don't take action. Here, get out of here. I'm going to tell Mike to kick you off his team. You're a waste of everybody's time. I mean, isn't that what we all need? Somebody hold us accountable, right? And I begged him. I basically did everything but get on my knees. And he said, okay, I'll give you 30 minutes. Prove to me that you're going to do it. And I go, I'll pull out my phone. I'll hire somebody right now. I hired a girl off Craigslist, Anna Martinez. She worked for me for 8 years, changed my business, $3,000 a month. Anyway, I had to unlearn everything that I had learned from my parents. And then what I started doing in my life is I recognized that spending money to get into the right rooms was the cheat code for me, at least at that point. And so I spent $5,000 here and $2,000 here, and I started getting myself into rooms to get around the people who are having different conversations.
What am I going to do? How am I going to make it? All right. The rule number one that I had to learn was that what got me to the place that I wasn't going to get me to the place I needed to be.
One of the things that I've learned about Airbnbs is that it's actually one of the least scalable niches within the real estate world.
You guys excited to be in Las Vegas, Nevada on a Sunday night? Bunch of sinners.